ベニーさんこんばんは、こんにちは。プルガさんごきげんよう。カソタリさんごきげんよう。アマギさんこんにちは。Hello, audio is fine. ソテロさん、はじめましてかな？はじめまして。audio is fine. ありがとうございます。Thank you so much. Hi, well, I guess I'll start by introducing myself, and when Mim-san is ready, I'll have Mim-san introduce herself. So I think there's two streams going on, so hi Mim-san's chat. My name is Mizuki Meido. You might know me from the last time we did this. I am a half-dog maid Japanese teaching VTuber. I sometimes get this question. Thankfully, I'm guessing my English is good enough, but I am born and raised Japanese, 100% Japanese in blood. I mean, half dog, but you know what I mean. And I do this because I am almost fully self-taught in English, and I'm hoping to help the VTuber and the fan community learn Japanese more, and also maybe the English side, like teach some English to the Japanese side too, so that the two communities can come together a little bit closer. ということで、はじめまして、ごきげんよう。Nice to meet you. ちょっとね、日本語でも説明させてくださいませ。I'm just gonna introduce myself really quick in Japanese as well. と、日本人の皆様、ごきげんよう。私、メイドみずきと申します。初見の方ね、あんまりいらっしゃらないんじゃないかなとは思うんですけれども、私、メイドみずき、半十字メイド日本語教師系 Vtuber、英語も教えるよっていう感じの活動をしております。一応ね、英語、ほぼ独学でここまで来た身なんですけれども、英語を自分で学んだという身からですね、どうやったら一番、簡単にじゃないんですけど、どうやったら一番効率的に、その人にとって効率的に言語を学べるかっていうのを日々一応勝手に勉強したりしてます。頭はあんまり良くないです。犬なので。ということで、どうぞよろしくお願いします。Nice to meet you and pleased to meet you. はい。ミムさん、ちょっと準備はできましたか？ Are you ready?
I'm ready. Thank you so much.
どうぞ。
Thank you so much. Awesome. Welcome. I appreciate it. I'm so excited to be with you again today, learning from my favorite sensei.
Favorite sensei.
Welcome everyone, I am Sim. I'm a wholesome kitsune who loves to transform into different forms for the different games that I play. I like to play a variety of different games and also do occasional handcam streams, different kinds of things. Puzzles, crafts, food, whatever. I also try to do a weekly Japanese learning stream where I'm learning some Japanese. Still pretty new to it, so I'm still learning, but I'm excited to be here. Yeah, and I think that's a good intro. I want to say hi to everybody in chat. Thank you guys. Thanks for being patient with the audio in the beginning, but I think we're good to go now.
イエーイってやってミムさんありがとうございます。And sorry, to the chat, you can ask any kind of questions as you want. Please just be understanding that we might not be able to read all of them, but I love to answer any of the questions that you might have. So feel free to ask questions as we go. お願いします。日本人の方でもですね、もし途中でテーマに沿った質問などございましたら、いくらでも質問していただけたらと思います。すべてのコメントをね、読むことはできないかと思うんですけれども、できるだけ答えていけたらと思っておりますので、どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。Okay, so I guess we'll start by explaining the theme of today, Mim-san. So today's theme is... Wait, I don't know if I put it... Oh, yes. I did. I did put it on the PowerPoint. Where's my PowerPoint? Where's my PowerPoint? Oh, there we go. Hi, there's my PowerPoint. はい、本日のテーマ、Today's theme is Japanese for games. Japanese that you can use when you are playing games, especially directions. ということで、ミムさん、would you mind explaining to us why you wanted to learn about this theme?
Yeah, so I have made some friends, some Japanese friends. Through VTubing, and I really want to be able to try and reach out and play some games with them, but right now I don't know enough Japanese and they don't know enough English that we would feel comfortable collabing. So I was hoping that maybe I could learn a few key terms and that we can like communicate a little bit better for like probably some basic games to start off with. But yeah, I thought that would be a good way to try to bridge the gap.
That's perfect. もう素晴らしいでございます。Yeah, so today I like to focus on very specific themes so that this class will be only an hour long. And we're gonna try to focus on the most specific details on each of the themes so that we'll be able to learn in depth even though it's going to be an hour stream. So I think there's a lot of terms that we can talk about games in Japanese, and obviously gaming terms in English is something I also need to work on because I don't really know much. So today I guess we'll continue and focus a lot more about talking about directions or being able to explain directions with other people. Hi. Oh yes, and Mimu-san did give me a gift. I haven't been able to set it up, but Mimu-san gave me a original cursor, a mouse cursor. そう、ミムさんですね、私に実は贈り物してくださいまして、なんとオリジナルアニメーション付きマウスカーソルいただきました。Thank you so much, Mimu-san. I really wanted to set it up before the stream, but I am so not tech savvy. I still need to like ask Google how to do things. ありがとうございます。Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I'm glad you like it.
I love it. めちゃくちゃ可愛い. I wish I could just show it to you now, but I'll show it to you on like my other streams and on Twitter and everywhere else. And everywhere else. 本当に嬉しい. Oh yeah, I have one of those. You gifted to so many people. You're so good. It's so well done too. It's like professionally done. It's crazy. めっちゃ可愛い. いや、ありがとうございます。ということで、before going into directions, I wanted to focus on a little bit about phrases that people can use for RPG games and online games. Because I feel like when people collab, I think Mimu-san and I are kind of in a similar genre when it comes to playing games. I don't think we both play a lot of FPS games, like too aggressive kind of games. I think from what I have seen from Mimu-san's streams, I think you play a lot more like puzzles, more cozy games. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
cool.
That's it.
Yes. こんにちは、課金沼の誘いではないです。But yeah, so I thought about it, but then I feel like most of the people in the VTubing community and also in the gaming community are probably more keen about playing online RPG games or FPS games. And so I wanted to point out about 10 words that we can learn when it comes to playing games. Those are all nouns, but I thought they might be a little bit more interesting if you're into those games. So, I would just like read them out and you can repeat after me if you would like. いいですか? Is that okay?
Yep, that sounds good.
Okay. では、repeat after me. 主人公.
Shuzinko.
Yes, I know, sorry, the hiragana might be a little bit small, but 主人公 means the main character. I saw a Japanese video, Douglas-san said, I saw a Japanese VTuber playing a Dragon Ball game from mobile. A lot of Japanese VTubers play mobile games, because that's, I think, one of the biggest genre in games these days. Yeah. But yeah, so 主人公 means main character. The first kanji, you might know 主人 as in ご主人様. That's what I call my master. A lot of maids call their masters ご主人様. 主人 actually mean the main person. The first kanji means main, and the second kanji means person, the main character is what it means. Okay, moving on. And again, let me know if you have any questions.
Okay.
ということで次行きます。Next is 課金。
課金。
Yes, 課金. So 課金 is probably one of the biggest things that a lot of people do. This is to charge, as in to charge money. You know how in a lot of games it's not like you have to, but you pay extra money to get certain stuff. and this is what the term is. If you go on Japanese Twitter and put this and search this, you'll see a lot of people who is spending crazy amount of money on kakin. So yeah, kakin is a big term. Like I know some VTubers who has kakin like 1 million yen in a stream and stuff. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yes. Nice.
Kakin.
Kakin. Yeah, if you are going to do kakin, just be a little bit careful. Kakin は気をつけましょう。はい。The next word is, repeat after me, さいきどう。
Say it again.
さいきどう。Okay.
さいきどう。
You did it great! If I make it more natural, it will be 再起動。再起動。
再起動。
Yes! 再起動。So 再起動 means reboot. 再 means again. And then 起動 means to boot or to start. So you restart. That's the root word for rebooting. はい。Reboot 再起動です。Okay, so next word. I think this is one of the words that I use the most because I still do play RPG games, but I don't like to battle. I like to do exploring. So explore or exploration in Japanese is 探索。
Say it again. た
索。
探索。
Yes, you did it great. 探索。探索。
探索。
Yes. 探索. So 探索 means explore. So you know how some games has like percentage of how much you have explored around? I don't know. Yeah, like you know how many chests that you have found and like how many hidden dungeons you have found, kind of a thing. So that is called 探索率 in Japanese. You don't have to memorize it for now, but I will still put it on the chat for those of you who are interested. 探索率 or 探索度 is how we call it. 探索度の方が多いかな。探索率 or 探索度。So this means the percentage or the amount of places that you have explored.
Okay.
So in most games, I try to strive for 100% 探索度. So yeah, I like to explore. So 探索 is explore. Okay, I guess we'll move on. The next word is, repeat after me. 内容。内容。
内容。
Perfect, yes. So, 内容 is content. Oh, I got some questions. 進歩率 and 探索率 or 探索度 I think are a little bit different. 進歩 is when it comes to main quests or storylines. And then I feel like 探索率 is more for RPG games when it comes to like hidden chests or like hidden maps and stuff. Hi. But yeah, so 内容 is content. I think like, you know, well, as content creators, we talk a lot about our content in English, right? This is a little bit different in Japanese. That kind of content is not what 内容 means. This is really more about like the storyline or something that is within the game. When it comes to like content that we produce, we use a different term. So this content is specifically for like content within games and stuff. はい、内容です。はい、so 内容。ゼロクラウドさん said 進捗ダメです。But yeah, 進捗 is another word that a lot of us uses, but 進捗 is yeah, 進捗 is like how much you have moved on. So that's another different word. Good word though. Hi, okay, we have 5 more. One of them is katakana, which means it's very English-like. Okay, so repeat after me. 難易度。難易度。
難易 ito.
Perfect. Yes. So the sound I think might be one of the more difficult ones because you actually have to say So the way you pronounce it is that you can close your mouth and just say It's closer to the M sound. So
Okay.
Nam-ido.
Nam ito.
Perfect. Nan-ido. Yes. So nanido means level of difficulty. I think this might be a word that we can use in puzzle games too because sometimes you can choose the level of difficulty. So 難易度を選択しましょう。選択 means to choose. 難易度を選択しましょう。Let's choose the level of difficulty. とか、難易度は簡単がいいです。I would prefer the 簡単 the easy 難易度。はい。
Oh, 簡単。
簡単、簡単わかりますか？ Yes, 簡単 means easy. そうです。簡単 easy. 私は簡単なのが好きです。I like 簡単が好きです。The ones that I don't have to use much of my brain power is what I like.
Yeah.
はい、そう、難易度は簡単が好きです。I like 簡単難易度。はい、簡単。So, if you're wondering what the kanji for 簡単 looks like, Amagisa-san just commented with the kanji for 簡単, so you can check that out.
Okay.
はい。Okay, so the next word is a word for special mood. For some of us that maybe plays a lot more RPG games, we might be more familiar with this. Moves that has special powers or moves that you can only do once in a while. So this is called Hisatsuwaza. Repeat after me. Hisatsuwaza.
Hisatsuwaza.
Perfect. A little trick here. You probably know what the small tsu does in hiragana. Do you, Mimi-san?
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah.
I'm still figuring it out.
Okay. So would you mind me asking what your idea when it comes to how you read this letter is?
Is it supposed to make like a hard sound?
Kind of. I guess it can be closer. The small tsu is a silent note. You kind of, it's a sound that you skip. You actually don't make any sounds. I like to explain it as staccato in music. I'm not that musically inclined, sorry, but you know when there's a staccato, you kind of like, jump. It's kind of like that. You make that jumping sound in the previous sound and then you pause for a little second.
Okay.
So instead of saying hisatsuwaza, it will be hisatsuwaza. The place that I clapped, you literally don't say anything. Hisatsuwaza. Hisatsuwaza.
Hisatsuwaza.
Perfect. Yes. So this hisatsuwaza. So the next time you see the small tsu, you can just simply kind of like jump in the previous sound and land again after a little while.
That's a good tip. Thank you so much. That's super helpful.
よかった. I'm glad it helped. はい. So hisatsuwaza. If you look at the kanji, it's a little bit scary. But the first kanji means for sure, the second kanji means kill, and the third kanji means skills or techniques. Techniques that kill somebody for sure. That's what it means. Yep. So I don't know how you feel about the term for this, but that's what it means. Hi.
It's a mismove there.
Hi. Oh wait, Kasutani-san commented something really interesting. 最近だとウルトって言ってる人類もちょくちょく見かける。はあ、私それ聞いたことない。界隈が違うのかな。Kasutani-san mentioned that some people recently has been calling hisatsuwaza uruto. It might be from some games or it might be from different languages, but well, I guess I'm old, so I keep on using hisatsuwaza. Uruto. Okay, it makes sense. Uruto as in like ultimate.
Oh, okay.
Like the ultimate skill, like the move, huh? Ultimate ね。Huh? Well, language evolves. Right, well, I guess it's uruto or 必殺技. Okay, well, we'll continue on. So the next is katakana. Mim-san, are you familiar with katakana?
Well, only a little bit. I haven't memorized it yet.
Katakana is, yeah, it's hard. No worries. But this one is the English term. You know when your screen freezes? This is a word for it. So this is freeze.
Freeze.
Pretty simple, right?
It sounds similar, so it's that's gonna be self-explanatory.
Yeah, so freeze. But we do have one more word that is the Japanese way of saying it. People use both of them. I say both of them. So freezing in Japanese is a little bit long. So I will try to break this down into 3 parts. So repeat after me. 画面、どうぞ。画面が、
画面。画面。
And then you can say が、固まる。
固まる。
Perfect! はい、画面が固まる。
画面が固まる。
素晴らしい。今の素晴らしかった。That was perfect. That was awesome. はい、but, 画面 means screen. Ga is the particle here. This is the glue word in order to connect 2 words into one. And katamaru means to solidify. So your screen solidifies will be the direct translation of this. But you know, your screen doesn't move anymore. It's solid. It's not like liquid moving around and flowing around. 画面が固まる。はい。Yep, so that's what we say too. We say freeze or like freeze した It froze. Or 画面が固まった That's the past tense form. 画面が固まった画面固まっちゃった And yep, this is one of the ways that we would say that. One of the saddest moments of our lives.
I know, it's the worst.
I hate it when it happens. But sad thing is that it actually does happen quite often. So I don't know what to say, but yep. Okay, and then we have the last word of our day. Repeat after me. 物語.
Monogatari.
Perfect, yes. Monogatari means storyline or story. This is usually a word used for fictional stories, but you know, the storyline in games, for example, ゲームの物語 might be a way that you can use it. So, yep, that concludes the 10 phrases that we can use for RPG online games. Hi.
Alright.
ということで、yep, Purga-san in the chat just mentioned 私の物語 but I say that all the time 私が始めた物語だから I say about this about my VTubing 始める means to start. It's the story that I started, so I'm the one who has to finish it is what I say all the time in Japanese. It's kind of cheesy, but yeah. Time. SA-san commented something good. 指輪物語ありますね。So, Mim-san, do you like Lord of the Rings?
I've watched Lord of the Rings, yeah.
Nice. I'm one of those that has only read the books. I have never watched the movies. But Lord of the Rings in Japanese is called 指輪物語. 指輪 means rings, so it's the story about rings. Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of words like that. Would want to know.
Yeah.
Hi. Yep. Okay, so now moving on to the main part. I know it's already been like half an hour, but we're finally going on to the main part. Okay, so for this part, for those of you who are still learning Japanese, I think it might be great if you would actually take notes, because I'm gonna show you certain words. I'm gonna show you equations on how you can combine them to make more specific words or directions or words that shows directions, and then in the end we're gonna try to make sentences off of this. いいですか? Sounds good. I know this is a lot, so Mimi-san, if you would like, you can just take a screenshot or even try to write them in hiragana if you are okay with writing them in hiragana. It's all up to you as well. Okay. I tried to make it as simple as I could, but I don't think it's as simple as I think, so we'll go and see. So this is the 5 words that I chose when it comes to talking about directions. Just like we did previously, I will say it and I'll have you repeat after me. いいですか? Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So, repeat after me, starting from the top. 右.
右.
Perfect. 右 means right. Like as in the right hand, right. Okay, next word is 左. 左.
左.
Perfect. 左 is left. Okay, so now we have right and left. 右, 左. 右, 左. Okay, now moving on to up and down. Up is 上. どうぞ.
上.
Yes, 上. It's that simple. 上. 上 means up. And then down is 下.
下.
Okay, now we have our last one. The last one is diagonal. I know this is a very specific word, but I thought we might actually use it quite often. So diagonal is 斜め.
斜め.
Really close. 斜め.
斜め.
And the intonation actually goes up a little bit. It's like 斜め. 斜め.
斜め.
Kind of close. Sorry, that was my bad. I shouldn't say it goes up. It's more flat. 斜め. It's more like the middle one goes up a little bit. 斜め. 斜め.
斜め.
Perfect. Yeah, you said it perfectly. Hi. So, san, sorry, would you like to take some time to write this down or screenshot?
No, I've been writing it down.
Oh wow, you're so good. Sorry, I went through it really fast.
You're good.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna explain this really quick. I think a lot of people don't talk a lot about intonations or pitch accents or pitch tones in Japanese. But because, I feel like when it comes to English, pronunciation is one of the biggest keys in trying to get better at the language. But in Japanese, we don't talk as much about it because a lot of us Japanese don't even know that this thing exists. We have this thing called pitch accents or pitch tones, and it's about, when you go up in certain words. We have things like that. Depending on it, the meaning of the word actually might change because there's a lot of words that shares the same hiragana or the writing system, but when you write things in kanji, it might change in meaning or the pronunciation changes. The easiest example that I can come up with is ame and ame. Ame, if you go down, ame, that is rain that falls from the sky. If you go up, ame, that is candy, like the sweet candy that we eat. So, not all of them are like that, but it's one of the tricks to get better in Japanese. There's a lot of it, so you don't have to stress out too much about it, but anyways, yeah, just wanted to touch on that really quick. Hi.
One more thing to listen out for.
Yeah. If any of you are interested in trying to get better at pitch accents and pitch tones, I would personally recommend shadowing, which kind of is hard in Japanese because there's not much materials out there. English is so much easier to learn when it comes to looking for materials because there's so many of them out there. But yeah. Anyways, pitch accents. It's weird. Okay. Okay, moving on. Now we're gonna try to start combining the things that we have learned. So, when we want to specifically talk about more specific directions, this is how we can combine them. For example, naname plus right or left, naname plus migi or hidari makes the word diagonally right. You know, you're not fully going right, but you're going like the northeast kind of direction, maybe.
Yeah.
That will be naname migi. Repeat after me. Naname migi.
Naname migi.
Perfect. How do you think you would say diagonally left?
Naname hidori.
Perfect, yes. Naname hidari. Naname hidari.
Naname hidari.
Perfect. And your D pronunciation is amazing too. That's a good
Oh,
D sound. Oops, sorry, I touched my mic. For those of you who are interested in how you can pronounce the larirulero in a better way, I can explain it better in English terms, but you know, when you say the L sound in English, your tongue touches the tip of your upper teeth, if that makes sense, right? Like, I want you to try to make the L sound.
La la. Yeah.
So your tongue touches the tip, like the very top part of your upper teeth. So that's the English L sound, which is kind of really hard for us Japanese people to do. So that's another thing for us Japanese to work on. But then when it comes to the Japanese larirulero sound, you want to bring your tongue a little bit more behind, a little bit more closer to the inside of your mouth. So I want you to try to lick the ceiling or the top of your mouth really quick.
Okay.
Okay, and do you feel like the little dip when you are? Okay, perfect. So when you feel that dip, I want you to put your tongue or place your tongue right before that dip happens. So that is how you pronounce the L larirulero sound. La. You know how you make the L sound by placing your tongue and then pulling it out? You do the same motion but in a different placement in your mouth. So,
interesting.
So that's how you can pronounce the Japanese larirulero sound in a better way. Hi. It's a very different pronunciation. And sorry, let me answer some questions on chat. ちょっと、説明させてください。今日はゲームの説明放送ですが、今日はですね、日本語の、授業です。すいません。はい。そう。基本的にゲームの単語の授業。そうですね。基本的にゲームで使う言葉の授業です。はい。So, yeah. I think it takes a little bit of time for your mouth to get used to it. I like to explain it as it's almost like going to the gym for your body muscles. It takes time for your body muscles to get used to certain movements, and I think it's the same for our mouths too. It will take a little bit of time to get used to certain placements of your tongue and like where you pronounce things, but you'll get used to it the more you practice it. Hi.
That's pretty cool.
Okay, well, we will move on. The next is right, left plus up and down. It's basically the same thing as naname. It's just a little bit more direct because naname migi can be, you know, it can be like northeast or southeast. When we're talking about right plus up, it's more about northeast. Maybe right plus down will be southeast. It's a little bit more direct and more general. No, not the general. It's not general. It's more specific. That's the word. It's more specific. Okay, so this is the equation. You can either just say right or left and just put up and down to it. So for example, right up would be migi ue. Repeat after me. Migi ue.
Migi ue.
Yes, migi ue. Okay, Mim-san and chat, how do you think you would say left down?
Okay. Hidari ue.
That it is left up. Close.
Oh, that was it. That's not. Okay. Hidari shita.
Yes, 左下よくできました。You did great. Okay, how about right down?
Okay. Miji shita.
Yes, it's 右下。右下。Yup. 右下. Well, now we have something that is a little bit more complicated. The meaning doesn't change necessarily. It just adds on some more context to it. It just makes it more direct in a way. And also, this is an interesting concept, but in Japanese, the more words you add, it's considered more polite, or it's considered that it's more explanatory. It doesn't always change the meaning, but this can be another way that people explain it. So you can start by saying, for example, left diagonal up. As you can tell, this doesn't change in meaning from left up. You're just adding the diagonal part in the middle. So for example, if I wanted to say left up, as in left diagonally go up, I would say 左斜め上.
Okay. Hidari naname ue.
Yeah, 左斜め上. 左斜め上. So, Miu-san, how do you think you would say right diagonal down?
Okay. Right diagonal down. Okay. Miji naname shita.
Perfect. 右斜め下. 右斜め下. You did perfect. Okay, so I actually got a question on the chat. Derpmaster-san said, what would you say if someone went the wrong direction? That's a good question. I think it depends on the situation, to be honest. I might just say, 違う. 違う means wrong. So I might just say, 違う. Yeah, 違う. I'll write it down on the chat. 違う means wrong. But as you can tell, this is very specific, very straightforward, which isn't always the nicest way of explaining in Japanese. So I might add on saying 違う. そっちじゃない. 違う. そっちじゃない. That means wrong. Not that way. That's what I might say. But this is still not the politest way, or this is a fairly casual way of saying it. So if I wanted to make this a little bit more polite, probably not the politest form, I would just simply add desu at the end. Because adding desu or masu at the end of the sentence automatically makes it a little bit more polite. So I would say, 違う, そっちじゃないです. Yeah, that's what I would say. I hope that answers your question. 違う、そっちじゃないです. But, okay. Thanks. Okay, glad you asked. Okay, so again, this is the way of combining words to make more specific directions. But this isn't it. Now we're gonna learn a little bit more adverbs. So, do you know what adverbs are, or what adverbs mean necessarily?
Okay.
I don't think we really talk about this in our native tongues anyway. So I think it might be, we hear this word, but it not necessarily might be words that we already know naturally what they are. I don't think I would have known this unless I learned English or, so. But yes. So adverbs are, as it says here, there's the word term verb in it. So these are words that explains or enhances some meanings for verbs. In this case, when we talk about verbs in the setting of languages, we might get a little bit confused. Verbs doesn't always necessarily mean action words, but the words that is the main source of action, I guess, sometimes. When it comes to talking about directions, adverbs, I mean, verbs in a sentence might be these, like the directions. 右、左、上、下、斜め. Or those words might be a way of explaining more about what kind of actions you're going to be taking. So you can just think of this as words that would explain a little bit more about the action that you're trying to take. I'll explain more about that later on, but I wanted to go through these 3 words for now. So repeat after me. もっと.
もっと.
Motto, you might have heard about this before. Motto simply means more. More. And then we have ちょっと.
ちょっと.
So as you can tell, we have the small tsu here. So you can try to pause at that point. ちょっと. ちょっと.
ちょっと.
Yeah, ちょっと. You can literally just cut off all the sounds that your mouth is producing. ちょっと.
ちょっと.
Yes, okay, so ちょっと means a little bit. もっと, more, ちょっと, a little bit. And then we have another one. あと少し.
あと少し.
Yes. あと少し. You said it great. So あと少し means a little bit more. I know it sounds very similar to ちょっと, but あと means a little bit or remaining, and 少し is more. あと少し meaning more. The reason why I brought this up is because we're gonna practice making more sentences. Okay, so do you see this very long equation of how to make sentences?
Okay.
Okay, so I know this is really long, but this is how you can make sentences when it comes to asking people to move to certain directions, for example. So, adverbs, as you can tell, this is optional. You don't always want to say, oh, go more or go a little bit. But you can say adverbs, and then you can move on to saying directions. You can simply put the verb there, and then add ましょう or てください. Have you ever heard of ましょう or てください, Mim-san? Okay,
No.
so I have one video that I have when it comes to explaining the masu format, but do you know what the masu format is, Mim-san?
No, I don't know.
Okay, so have you ever heard about how Japanese has multiple ways of ending sentences? By any chance?
No, like they with always like with the desu or
Yes,
masu?
yes, like desu. Yeah, like desu and masu. So masu is the verb conjugation. Desu is used when a sentence ends with nouns or adjectives. Masu is used when a sentence ends with a verb. Right.
Oh, I didn't know.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Oh, perfect. Is it okay if I put some links to the videos that I explained these, so that if you want, you can go through them later on?
Yes, that'd be very helpful.
Okay, cool. Okay, so for those of you who are also learning Japanese, I have a playlist that I haven't really cultivated yet. I only have 4 videos, but this is a playlist of me explaining Japanese grammar. When it comes to Japanese grammar, a lot of them focuses on the end. Oh, 待って No, I just realized 笠谷さんのダサいの意味が分かった。やば。Sorry. ください. I wrote it in katakana. That means ダサい means it's ugly or it's unfashionable. But it's supposed to be written in hiragana, which means please. 待って。ダサいになってる。これ語変換なんで。Sorry. I didn't mean it as like unfashionable in any ways. ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。Yeah,
That's
so
okay.
sorry. 気がついた
Another
もん。
example.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. I thought 笠谷さん was mocking me for being unfashionable. ちょっと笠谷さんにダサいって言われたのかなってちょっと傷ついてました、一瞬。違った。ごめんなさい。はい。Okay, anyways, so I'll explain it to you really, really quick. Again, desu is a way that you can just put at the end of the sentence when the sentence ends with nouns or adverbs. I mean, not adverbs, adjectives. And then masu is a conjugated form of a language. Do you know what that even means? I know it's a big word, like conjugated form or like conjugated verbs.
Yeah, it's like can't or...
Yeah, exactly. Like can't turning to can't or eat turning into ate. Yeah, exactly. When a word literally changes its format is what it means. So masu form is a little bit hard because you have to learn to how to conjugate verbs into the masu format. There's extra ways of conjugating the masu form. Masu is the original conjugation. It's a lot to talk about, but masu for the simple masu is, it can be present tense or future tense. It just cannot be past tense. It can be like the will form. Like ikimasu will be I will go to school. So that's the simple masu form. Mashita, past tense. And there's again a lot more than that, but masho is a form that means let's do this. So, for example, do you know the verb iku? Iku ってわかりますか? Yeah, to go, right? はい。行く. If I say 行きましょう, it turns into let's go. So, if I ask you, Mim-san, would you, I don't know if you'd say, ディズニーランドに行きましょう。ディズニーランドに行きましょう。What does that mean?
Let's go to Disneyland. I'm there.
Let's go to Disneyland. ディズニーランド行きましょう。Yeah, so ディズニーランド行きましょう。Let's go to Disneyland. 食べるってわかりますか? Do you know 食べる?
食べる?
食べる. I love this verb. 食べる means to eat. 食べる, eat.
Yeah, I mean 食べ物, like food.
Yeah, so 食べ物 is food. 物 means objects. Objects that you can eat. Food is what it means. 食べ物. Yeah. So if I say something like, I don't know, ハンバーガーを食べましょう. What does that mean? ハンバーガーを食べましょう.
Let's eat a hamburger.
Yes, let's eat hamburgers. Let's go to McDonald's or like Burger King. I don't know. Oh, In-N-Out とかね. But yeah, so ましょう means let's. And then we have the てください format. Forget the katakana part. That's not the right form. Sorry, the て form, I have never made a video about this yet, but I like to consider it as the and for verbs. I think the simple sentence structure that you also might know, Mim-san, is sentences that only has one verb in it. Like, you know, I go to school. 学校に, 私は学校に行きます.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when we're speaking naturally, you can probably tell that we have a lot of verbs in one sentences. Like, you know what? Yesterday, what I did was that I went to school, I went to McDonald's and ate a hamburger. Like, even unto this point, there were 3 verbs in one sentence. You know?
Yeah.
A lot of verbs. So, te form is this grammar point that you can use in order to add more verbs in one sentence. I know that's a lot of information, so don't worry too much about it. It's just that when you put てくださいas a conjugated form for verbs, it becomes please. So again, you know the term 行く, which means to go, right? If I say 行ってください, it means please go. So what does it mean when I say ディズニーランドに行ってください? ディズニーランドに行ってください.
Let's go to Disneyland, please.
Close. It means please go to Disneyland. Please go to Disneyland. Yeah. So this. Oh wait. I got a question. Duke Lister-san said you can eat objects or grammatical speaking. That is wrong. So that's, I don't know how to explain this. It's just the word for food in Japanese. Food in Japanese is 食べ物. Sorry, let me write it down really quick. 食べ物. When we 食べ物 food. So this is not something you maybe want to get into because this is a bit too much. This is only for those who are interested in like linguistics and stuff. But when we decompose, I guess, in a sense, this word 食べ物, we have the kanji, ta, or tabe, and then we have the kanji mono. Taberu is a verb in Japanese that means to eat. The kanji itself means to eat. Mono means objects. So food in Japanese, if I direct translated this term into English, it simply becomes objects or things that you eat, which makes the English word food. So again, I think when we practice languages, we often run into these things about direct translations and stuff. Direct translation doesn't necessarily mean that it will give you extra information. It will just give you how the language was formed, and I think this is just a good example of how that goes. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi. So anyway, so ください means please. So having that in mind, I guess we're gonna practice really quick. Again, I will be here to help you out, but we have two phrases here, two sentences here. How do you think you would say, let's go up? We have let's go, which means you can simply use 行きましょう. 行きましょう as the verb of your sentence. 行きましょう.
行きましょう。上に。
Oh, really close. 行きましょう上に will be the English sentence structure. Do you know the difference between Japanese sentence structure and English sentence structure, Nim-san?
I wrote it down, but I didn't look at it when I was trying to...
Oh, it's okay, it's okay. I think it takes a lot of time to get used to it anyways. めちゃくちゃ時間かかります。So the biggest difference between the Japanese sentence structure and the English sentence structure is that the Japanese sentence structure is what we call the SOV format. English is SVO. For those of you who are interested, I actually do have a video for this. Sorry, I hope this doesn't feel like I'm just trying to advertise my videos, but
It's really helpful.
thank you. But this video explains more about the different structures in Japanese and English. In Japanese, really simply, verb comes at the end of the sentence, while in English, verb comes right after the subject. Like, I go. Go is the verb, right? The simplest thing that you can do is to switch things around. You want the verb to come at the end, which means 上に行きましょう will be the right answer. 上に行きましょう Repeat after me. 上に行きましょう
上に行きましょう. But what's the ni?
So ni is what we call the particle. 助詞って言います particle. So in Japanese, we have a lot of particles. Do you know what kind of particles exists in the English language?
Like to... I can't think of any other ones right now.
Okay. But yeah, like to and for, those are like the particles. I think the biggest difference in English and Japanese when it comes to particles is that English has a lot less. I wouldn't say less as in like, the numbers, but there's a lot more specific ways of using. I don't know. The thing about Japanese is that between every word you need a particle. These are the glues for words, and so you always need a particle. Ni is a hard particle. There's like 6-7 usages for it, but we can use this when we are talking about places that you go to. This is a particle that explains the direction of an action. So I have been asking you to go to Disneyland with me, right? So I have been saying ディズニーランドに行きましょう。ディズニーランドに行きましょう。The direction of our action to go was Disneyland, and so we are gonna use に a lot in those kind of sentences. Because we're going somewhere, we're talking about the direction, about the place that we're trying to get to. But,
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways,
Good.
simple story. Ni is a particle that shows like directions. It's like to. Let's go to Disneyland. To. Let's go to school. So yeah,
Okay, yeah.
that's what it is. Hi. Okay, so next, I want you to try to say let's go to the bottom right. bottom right.
Okay. Okay, let's go to the bottom right. Okay. 道 斜め下に行きましょう。
Yes! 右斜め下に行きましょう。I know the pronunciation was a little bit hard, but you did great. あれ Oh, there we go. Sorry, I'm gonna try to, I'm gonna put the right answer in the chat as well. 右斜め下に行きましょう。
Yay! I put in the right order.
Yeah, I think I saw a treasure box. 右斜め下に行きましょう。はい。そうそう、2D アクション。多分ね、そう、パズルゲームの 2D アクションだと思います。右斜め下。右斜め下に行きましょう。はい。Okay, so I know we're running out of time, so we might not go through all of them, but we'll see. We already did let's go up and we did let's go to the bottom right. Never mind, we only have 2 more left. I don't know, we might be able to do this. How do you think we would say please go to the right diagonal up, please?
Okay.
By the way, please go is 行ってください。に行ってください。The particle, the glue word is the same here. We use に行ってください。I'll put it on the chat. に行ってください。is please go.
Okay.
Please go
Okay.
to.
Please go to the right diagonal up. Okay. Alright, I got this. Okay. 道斜め
斜め You're close.
斜め
Mhm.
斜め斜め上に行きてください。
行ってください Yes! 行ってください右斜め上に行ってください That was perfect 右斜め上に行ってください右斜め上に行ってください Sorry, I'm gonna put the right answer on the chat as well そうです右斜め上に行ってください That means please go to the right diagonal up placement like, it's very specific but
Yeah.
okay, now let's do a little bit more. Please keep on going to the left. Do you remember the 3 adverbs that we have learned?
Yeah,
We
we
have-
learned もっと
Yes, もっと
and あと少し
Yes, もっとちょっとあと少し Again, this is when translation gets a little bit hard. It just comes with practice. But keep on going is もっと言ってくださいもっと言ってください More, go. Again, adverbs are extra words that explains the action. So we can just simply add it onto the verb, which in this case is 言ってください Please go. Please go more to the left. Well, might be a better way of explaining it in English. Please go more to the left. How do you think you would say that?
Okay. もっと
Mhm.
To the bottom right. Should just keep on going to the left. Okay. もっと左に行けてください。
Yes! Oh, that was perfect. Yes, just a little bit more. 言ってください。言ってください。
行ってください。
素晴らしい。素晴らしい。You did it. はい。そう、もっと左。not 左。Sorry. Spelling mistakes. もっと左に。あれ Wait, what happened just now? I don't know what just happened. あれI hope it went through. もっと、oh, okay, it went through. もっと左に行ってください. Please continue on. Please keep on going to the left side. そうです。You did great. お疲れ様でした。So, well, just keep, I guess that's it for what I have prepared. Just keep making your own sentences. Practice makes perfect, and you're gonna be perfect. You're gonna slay this language. You're gonna be bomb. はい、ということで。そう、お疲れ様でした。Do you have any questions about any of the things that we went through today, Mim-san?
Well, I have a question. Like, how would you say something like "go back"?
Go back?
Like, yeah.
So, the verb that we use is 戻る。戻る means to go back.
Motoru.
はい、to go back. So, if I wanted to say please go back, I would say 戻ってください。戻ってください。
Kudasai.
はい。戻ってください。That will be please go back. 戻ってください。
Okay, and then like I think one thing I like to also do is like when I'm playing with other people is like tell them they're doing a great job. So how do you say like you're doing a great job or you're doing great or something like that?
That's a good term. I think there's a lot of a cultural difference when it comes to this term, to be honest. Because telling another person to like good job in Japanese might sometimes be considered that you are more of a higher social position than the person who you're talking to. Again, cultural difference. So I would personally say ありがとうございました or 今のすごく良かったです That was a good move. 良かったです
Okay, we're the good move one.
そう、すごく良かったです。すごく is another adverb that means very. すごく良かったです。Well, this is actually an adjective conjugated, but we'll talk about this another time. But anyways, すごく良かったです。良かった means good. すごく良かったです。That was awesome. That was amazing. すごく良かったです。とか、yeah, 天岸さん just said うまい。Or I would say 上手。すごく上手です。
Oh, 上手です。Yeah, I just knew that word.
I know the term 日本語上手 is almost like an internet slang meme, right? But yeah, 上手 good, you're good. 上手上手今のすごい上手今のすごいうまい
Oh, すごい is good too.
すごい is okay too. So すごい is and すごく are originally the same word すごい which means great. すごく is the conjugated version of すごい
Okay.
Yeah.
What about ganbare? Is it ganbare? How do you say it?
So 頑張れ is when the other person is trying at the moment. So 頑張れ or 頑張ってください another てください I know it sounds like it's asking the person to 頑張れ but it can simply mean that you are cheering the other person on as well. So
Okay.
頑張って or
Ganbatte, it means like do your best, right?
Yeah, exactly. Do your best. 頑張れ or 頑張ってください。頑張って I would personally say 頑張って So I don't know if you ever hear any sentences that ends with て like 食べて that will 食べる eat 食べて eat て That's actually just a shortened version of the てください format. And so even though it's a lot more of a casual way of speaking those terms, it actually means please do this. Like please continue on, please eat, please go. You're doing great. 頑張ってください。
Ah, okay. Oh, that's good. Thank you. That's super good.
Oh, I'm glad. よかった。他に質問ありますか? Do you have any other questions?
What about like how do you say next?
Next.
Yeah.
Next is 次。次。Sorry, I'll put it again on the chat. 次 next. はい。次 next. So for example, if you wanted to say something like, oh, the next move, please go up, for example, you would say 次は右に行ってください。行ってください。Okay, let me write this down as well. 右に行って、sorry, I know my keyboard is kind of loud. はい、 次は右に行ってください。Next, please go to your right. とか。かな。
Okay.
Yeah. So one biggest similarity between Japanese and English is that the subject does come at the very beginning. And so, 次, next, please go to your right. It just comes at the beginning of the sentence. 次は右に, oh, next move is this. Like, next, let's do this.
Yeah, so like if we wanted to say like go to the next level or the next.
Yeah, そうそうそう。Yes, 次。そう、次は何だろう Like, 次は何 What is the next? 次何次は何ですか There's another way of being able of saying like, what is next? 次は何
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, and Amagi-san, I think, commented something really important here. ありがとうございます、Amagi-san. 目の前 also is really common. Yes. 目の前 is in front of your eyes. So it means like right in front of you. 目の前 right in front of you, or yeah, right in front of you. 目の前にあるよ Because I also get really, I don't know, like not short-minded, like short-eyed, not short, I don't know what the right word is. Closed-sighted sometimes. Like, I sometimes have something that I'm looking for that is actually right in front of me, but I'm just not realizing. People might say in the chat things like 目の前にあるよ
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, I think that's good because I do that too. I do that too, and like or just like you see it but they don't see it.
Yeah. So oh, tunnel vision. Yes, tunnel vision. Thank you. The word is tunnel vision.
Yeah, or like you're just missing it on the screen. You're just not seeing it.
We also have a proverb for that in Japanese too. You say 東大元暮らし You don't have to memorize this, but 東大元暮らし 東大 means the lighthouse. And then 元 means underneath. 暮らし means dark. It basically means that something that you're looking for might be right in front of you, but you can't see it because the lighthouse, it shines everything and everywhere really bright, but right underneath it is very dark, and so you can't see it. So, 戸田元暮らし Yeah, there's a problem. Oh, and SN-san commented 大丈夫 would go a long way. I think that's big too. 大丈夫 means it's okay. Like when people mess up, you can say 大丈夫大丈夫 People ask you if you're okay, you can say 大丈夫 That means I'm okay, it's okay. So yeah, 大丈夫大丈夫 means okay, basically. That's what it means. It's okay, fine.
Okay.
So if I come to you and ask you as in the question form 大丈夫 or 大丈夫ですか That means are you okay? And you can simply answer 大丈夫 That means I'm okay, I'm good. Yeah. 大丈夫 It's a good word to know. Another good one.
What about like you know, like when you like need a minute, so you're like, just one sec, I'm getting ready or something, I'm preparing. What would be the best way to say that?
You can
like,
say ちょっと待って or ちょっと待ってください Again, when it ends with a te, it's a shortened version of てください So it means please wait a second. ちょっと means a little bit, remember? A little bit, ちょっと And 待つ is a verb that means wait. Please wait a little bit. ちょっと待ってください。ちょっと待って。
Okay, ちょっと待って. Okay, a little bit. It means like a little bit more, like a little bit.
Yeah, it literally means please wait a little bit. ちょっと待ってください。Please wait a little bit. はい。
Okay. That's very helpful.
よかった。よかったです。 ちょっと待って。ちょっと待った。ちょっと待って。
Okay. So the questions I have right now, thank you so much. This has been so helpful.
あ、よかった。I'm so glad. Well, thank you for asking me to do this again. よかった。本当嬉しいです。Again, thank you for the cute mouse cursor. Thank you so much. It's awesome. ありがとうございます。Yeah. Well, again, so I just wanted to let the chat know. I think I focused a lot more on 2D puzzle games or terms that you can use for 2D puzzle games or 2D collab games. Not collab, but co-op games. Is that the right word? Co-op?
Right.
Okay. Cool. But yeah, but there's a lot more words when it comes to many other genres of games. I think even in the Japanese side of the language, depending on certain genres, there's a lot of slangs that comes up every now and then. Even in the VTubing community, there's a lot of slangs. And so just know, obviously, this doesn't cover everything and everything. So I know this is just a little portion of it, but I hope this helps you be able to play cool games with other people as well. Hi.
Thank you. Yeah, I was looking for just a few basic words to, be able to communicate a little bit better. So I think that's a good start.
Building up one by one is the easiest way possible when it comes to languages. This might sound like it's the long way, but that's the only way out of it. So you're doing great. 頑張ってください。はい。いや、こちらこそありがとうございました、ミムさん。And also to the chat, I know for some of you, it's night time for us Japanese. I guess it's noon time. So I guess I will say bye to you to all of you now, and I will see you again soon. ミムさん、ありがとうございました。そして、チャット欄の皆様も本日はありがとうございました。